Okay, I want to talk about a combination that does not get discussed, does not get enough airtime, nearly enough. And it's perimenopause and thyroid dysfunction. Because they share so many important symptoms that they mask each other constantly. And the testing that most providers do only catches a portion of the full picture. If you've ever been told that your thyroid is fine, but you still feel like your thyroid is not fine, this episode is for you. If you've been dealing with symptoms that align with perimenopause and nobody has ever checked your hormones, let alone your thyroid, this episode is also for you. I found a primary care provider in the last year, and she ran all my thyroid panels because of the labs, because I thought that this was what was going on for me. And as of right now, it is not, but it definitely shed some light, and I have some compounding now blood work that will follow me over the last year that's going to give me a really good picture. This is episode 15 of the 82 Symptoms of Perimenopause series, and today is all about thyroid dysfunction as a perimenopause adjacent symptom and the frenemy relationship, between estrogen and the thyroid, which makes it both harder to identify and treat. So here's the relationship between estrogen and your thyroid, in as simple of terms as I can make it. Your thyroid produces hormones, mainly T4, that need to be converted into active form T3 to actually be used by your cells. And that conversion happens in various tissues throughout your body. So when your estrogen is high, it increases a protein called thyroid binding globulin, or TBG. And TBG binds hormones in the bloodstream and makes them unavailable to your cells. So even if your thyroid is producing a normal amount of hormone, if TBG is elevated because your estrogen is high, less of that hormone is reaching your cells and doing the job. And as we know, if you've been following this series, estrogen can surge significantly, especially in early perimenopause, before we move into the eventual decline of estrogen. And those surges can spike TBG levels and effectively create a functional hypothyroid state, even when TSH looks normal, which is your thyroid stimulating hormone. Your thyroid is working, your body is just essentially blocking the delivery. And for women who are already on thyroid medication, estrogen surges in perimenopause can mean their existing dose becomes inadequate and their symptoms come back. So the provider can look at your TSH and see that it is in range and tells you your thyroid is fine. But the issue is not production, it's delivery. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno, anyway. And TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, does not tell you that on a blood test. So TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, measures production. It does not measure delivery or conversion. All right, now let me try to show you the overlap because it's striking. Fatigue, both relevant to thyroid and perimenopause. Weight gain, again, both. Brain fog, both. Hair thinning, both. Depression and low mood, both. Constipation, both. Dry skin, both. Cold sensitivity, thyroid primarily. Joint pain, both. Memory issues, both. You see the problem? And the only symptoms that help distinguish between them both are the ones that are more specific to one condition. Cold sensitivity that is significant and new is more thyroid. Hot flashes and vasomotor symptoms are more perimenopause, and heart palpitations can be both. Irregular periods are more perimenopause. When you're sitting in the middle of both, the overlap is so complete that separating them without a deeply comprehensive test is very difficult, nearly impossible, which is why comprehensive testing matters. Now go through that list and see what relates to you. All right, now to move on to Hashimoto's and perimenopause. Hashimoto's thyroiditis is an autoimmune thyroid condition and the most common cause of hypothyroidism in women. And it peaks in midlife, and there's a meaningful connection between the hormonal shifts of perimenopause and autoimmune thyroid activity. Now, estrogen has immune modulating effects, and as estrogen fluctuates in perimenopause, immune regulation can become less stable. And for women with a genetic predisposition to autoimmune conditions, perimenopause can be the trigger that activates Hashimoto's or significantly worsens existing disease. Hashimoto's can be present with normal TSH for years before TSH becomes abnormal. The antibody test, the TPO antibodies, is the way to identify it, and it's not routinely ordered unless you specifically ask for it. So, what do you ask for when you go see your provider? You need a complete thyroid panel that includes TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and TPO antibodies, not just TSH. See the difference? All of them. If your provider will only order TSH, that's information about your provider. A full hormone panel for perimenopause alongside a thyroid panel. FSH, LH, estradiol, progesterone, testosterone, total, and testosterone free. DHEAS. These all need to be interpreted together, not in isolation. Ferritin, iron, vitamin D, B12, the nutritional labs that interact with both thyroid function and perimenopause symptoms. Bring this list with you. Write it all down. You have the right to ask for comprehensive testing. And if a provider refuses without reasonable clinical explanation, that is not an acceptable answer for your health. For the better part of 15 years, I was denied hormone testing, told that they didn't have it, that it didn't exist, that I was crazy. Take your pick. It wasn't until this last year that I actually found somebody who would do the testing. So sometimes there's going to be legwork involved in this, and it can get frustrating. There are resources out there where you can go find providers in your area, and you can find that on the Menopause Society website, I believe. But understand this is your permission slip to ask for what you need, and that is okay. Remember to give them the exact list. TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, TPO antibodies. Write it out, screenshot it, take it to your appointment. When both the thyroid and perimenopause are in play, treatment needs to address both. For thyroid, hypothyroidism is confirmed. Standard treatment is levothyroxine, which is T4. Some people do better on a combination of T4 and T3 or desiccated thyroid, which contains both. If your current dose is not resolving your symptoms adequately, that is a conversation worth having about optimization, not just normalization with your provider. Now for the perimenopause layer. Hormone therapy that addresses estrogen stabilization can reduce the TBG spiking that is blocking thyroid hormone delivery. And in some cases, addressing perimenopause directly improves thyroid function without changing thyroid medication at all. Selenium is a mineral that supports thyroid hormone conversion from T4 to T3 and has evidence for reducing TPO antibodies in Hashimoto's. It's low risk and worth discussing with your provider. The full treatment episode is coming soon. The full treatment options episode is coming soon. This is a preview of the thyroid layer within the much, much bigger conversation. So if you have been told your thyroid is fine and you still feel like it is not, you're not imagining it, you're not. The standard testing misses the delivery problem. It misses early Hashimoto's, and it does not account for what estrogen fluctuation is doing to the thyroid and how it affects thyroid hormone availability in perimenopause. You deserve comprehensive testing, and you deserve a provider who's going to look into the full spectrum, the full picture, all you. And now, you know what to ask for. Prepare yourself because the next episode is going to be a big one. We are going to hit treatment options. HRT, hormone replacement therapy, BHRT, forgot, perimenopause brain, what BHRT is, bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, oh my God, and non-hormonal options. Where to find a provider who will actually have this conversation with you. And that episode has been building for 15 episodes. It is coming. Drop a comment. Tell me, have you had full thyroid testing done like I've mentioned here, or just TSH? Has anyone connected your thyroid symptoms to perimenopause? What did they tell you? I just want to know, because the more stories we gather and the more stories we tell are true stories, it's going to give us all a much bigger picture of what's really going on, because Lord knows the books, unless you're talking about the new books, there's no full picture in there. And remember, nothing I share here is medical advice. I'm a coach. I'm a holistic nutrition student. I'm a mother of two. I am a woman living through all of this in real time. Do your own research. Go down those rabbit holes, girl. Go down those rabbit holes. And find a provider who listens. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you haven't done something to love yourself today, please go do that. And if you don't know what that looks like, send me a DM. I'll help you out. All my love. Until next time.